When a layer is turned off or frozen, the objects on that layer become invisible. When a layer is locked, it remains visible, but you cannot change or delete any of the objects on that layer. Next, we'll go over assigning a color to the layer. To change the color of a layer, you pick the color icon in the color column. So this is the layer that we just made, existing objects. Now I'm going to go into the color. I click on the white box and I get this color dialog box that pops up. You pick some standard colors down here, or you can just go ahead and pick your own. If you know the exact number of your color, you can just put it in down here. Actually, you would do that here in the true color section. I've never seen color books. So yeah, I would stick with using index color and true color. So you can pick any color that you want, and it just makes it easier for you to identify objects on your screen without it all looking like a whole bunch of lines that are the same color overlapping each other. Pick 130. In the color books, actually, there's this drop down. You can go up and down. It just gives you options of colors you can use that are in a color library already. So that's kind of cool. You can change the line type. So what that really means is like the line weight, or how thin or thick that line is when you go to print it. So to change that, you go under the line weight column and click on where it has a line and says default or whatever it says. And then you have the option to pick the size line you want. This is normally something too that is set already. The standards are set by a design firm, but it's really helpful in just being able to organize your objects on the page and, you know, decipher what is what. Is the line type. Let's say you have some dashed lines that you already have loaded into AutoCAD. If you click on that, they'll all show up here and you'll be able to select them. AutoCAD does have some line types already loaded in the file, but you do have to load them in yourself the first time. So you just hit load, and here we've got a few different options on dashed line patterns. I'm just going to go ahead and click dashed. So now that we clicked it, we've loaded into our line type and we won't have to do that again. I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to just give it a dashed line here, going up into the layers. Okay, so line scale is defined as a specific size. As you can see right here, there's a small space between dashes. The dashes are pretty, I mean, they're always going to be evenly sized, but they're pretty small. So if you want to change the scale of that, let's say you're in a drawing and you have a hidden line or a dashed line, and it's coming up looking like a solid line for some reason. That just means that the scale is probably a little too low. And if you change that scale and make it bigger, it's going to make the spaces bigger and the dashes bigger. For example, you can type in LTS and you'll get LTS scale or LT scale, and hit enter. Now right now the scale factor is at 1. Now let's see what happens when I change that to 5. Okay, you can see now the scale is huge, and that turned that dash line into just 2 dashes. So that's the line type scale. What we'll go over is the current layer. So there are many different ways to select the current layer in AutoCAD. So the current layer is the layer that objects will reside on as you draw. So this is important because you want to organize your drawing and have your objects on the correct layer. So if you're in the Layers Property Manager, you can look over, I'm going to expand this column, you can look over in the status, and wherever this green check mark is, that's what layer you're currently on. Also, you can tell that you're currently on that layer because it's showing up here in this Layers tab. If you wanted, let's say this layer that we created, existing object, we wanted that to be our current layer, you can do it like this. Right click on this little icon and set current. Now you can see that the current layer is this one, and it changed up here as well. Another way of doing this, let me get rid of it. Oh, actually, let's keep that. Another way of doing that is under this Layers tab up here, you've got these like 3 sheets of paper with a ball on top, kind of looks like, and it's called Make Current. So you'll select your object, make that current, and now anything you draw will be under that layer that you wanted to be current. So, oops, let's just show you again. Okay. Anyway, yes, you get